Good day everyone, my name is Carlo and in this video we will be learning some simple physical fitness tests or the so-called physical fitness test batteries. There are about 10 physical fitness tests under the Eurofit fitness testing battery covering flexibility, speed, endurance, and strength. The standardized test battery was devised by the Council of Europe for children of school age and has been used in many different schools since 1988. The series of tests are designed so that they can be performed within 35 to 40 minutes using very simple equipment. So in today's activities, we will be learning some of the most popular fitness tests, equipment required, measurements, and procedures, and we will also get to see demonstrations of these 6 popular physical battery tests, which are the step test, the curl-up test, the push-up test, the 15-meter sprint, the standing long jump, and the sit and reach flexibility test. I have also listed down some of the many benefits in doing these tests. Number 1, you can obtain scientific baseline measurements of your physical fitness levels. Number 2, you learn how your movement patterns contribute to your exercise routine and daily life. Number 3 is you also develop a personal awareness of your physical health. Number 4, you establish attainable goals and maintain accountability. Number 5, you also identify limitations that could potentially put you at a risk of injury. And finally, it also increases your self-awareness and self-confidence in any fitness environment. So just a quickly and friendly reminder for all of us, before conducting any of these tests, it is highly recommended to do some pre-test activities, and you should review each person's medical status to identify medical, orthopedic, and other health problems that should be considered. So before starting, make sure the correct techniques for all tests are explained. So let us begin with the step test. So for step test, guys, the equipment required will vary on the test being conducted. The step or platform needs to be of solid construction or a 12-inch high bench, a similar sized stair or sturdy box, and will also vary in height between 15 to 50 centimeter or 6 to 20 inches depending on the user. And of course, a watch for timing minutes. So these simple, easy procedures, the athlete steps up and down on the platform at a given rate for a certain time or until exhaustion. Heart rate may be recorded during the test and or for some period afterwards. Step on the box, on and off the box for 3 minutes. Step up with one foot and then the other. Step down with one foot followed by the other foot. So try to maintain a steady 4-beat cycle. It's easy to maintain if you say up, up, and down, down, and go at a steady and consistent pace. Now in terms of measurement, at the end of 3 minutes, remain standing while you immediately check your heart rate. Take a pulse for 1 minute and count the total beats from 3 to 4 minutes after starting the test. So the second test that we'll be doing is the curl-up test. The partial curl-up abdominal fitness test requires the subjects to perform as many sit-ups as possible, following a rate of 1 on every 3 seconds. The curl-up test measures abdominal strength and endurance, which is important in back support and core stability. So equipment required. What are the required equipments in this activity or this test? So all you need is just a flat, clean, cushioned surface, recording sheets, pen, a metronome or an audiophile drums, where there are varieties of phone applications you can also use to assist you in performing these tests. These are the simple procedure in doing the curl-up test. The starting position is lying on the back with the knees flexed and feet 12 inches from the buttocks. The feet cannot be held or rest against an object. The arms are extended and are rested on the thighs. The head is in the neutral position. The subject curls up with a slow controlled movement until the shoulders come off the mat 2 inches, then back down again. One curl up is completed every 3 seconds and 1.5 seconds with no hesitations and are continued until exhaustion. Example, the subject cannot maintain the rhythm. There is no pause in the up and down position. The curl up should be continuous with the abdominal muscles engaged throughout. So how to measure this test? So what you do is you record the total number of curl ups. The completion of one complete curl up counts as 1. Only correctly performed curl up should be counted. The sit-up is not counted if the shoulders are not raised up 2 inches. The head touches the mat. The heels come off the mat and or is of cadence. The third test that we'll be doing is the push-up test or push-up fitness test. This test is also called the press-up test, measures upper body strength endurance. There are many variations of the push-up test with differences in the placement of the hands, how to dip, the duration of the test, and the method of counting the number of completed push-ups. So what are the requirements or the equipment required in this test? Depending on which protocol you use, you will need a floor mat, a metronome, a stopwatch, a chair, a wall. Again, you can use phone applications to assist you perform this test. Now here are the simple procedures for this push-up test. A standard push-up begins with the hands and toes touching the floor, the body and legs in a straight line, feet slightly apart and the arms at shoulder width apart, extended and at a right angle to the body, keeping the back and knees straight. The subject lowers the body to a predetermined point to touch the ground or some other objects or until there is a 90-degree angle at the elbows. Then returns back to the starting position with the arms extended. This action is repeated without rest and the test continues until exhaustion or until they can do no more in rhythm or have reached the target number of push-ups. Now, how do you record this test? It is just a simple recording the number of correctly completed push-ups. Now, what are the benefits of doing the push-up test? This test is easy and quick to perform, usually requiring minimal or inexpensive equipment and can be done at home. Now, the next test that we'll be doing is the 50-meter sprint test. Fitness testing protocols often include a running test of speed, conducted as a maximal sprint over a set distance. The test can be conducted over a range of distances, anywhere from 10 meters up to 60 meters. The time recorded using a stopwatch or by using timing gates. A common distance for the sprint test is the 50-meter speed test. The objective of this test is to monitor the athlete's level of sprint fatigue and is suitable for runners but not for individuals where the test would be contraindicated. Now, what are the requirements or equipment required in this test? To conduct this test, you will require a flat non-self surface, running shoes, starting blocks, stopwatch, and of course, if you have an assistant, that will be a great help. Procedure. This test requires the athlete to complete 6 by 50 meter sprint time trials. The athlete warms up for 10 minutes. The assistant makes a 50-meter straight section with cones on the track, and the assistant gives the commands go and start the stopwatch. The athlete sprints the 50 meters as fast as possible. The assistant stops the stopwatch within the athlete's torso, crosses the finishing line, and records the time. The athlete rests for 30 seconds, and then the athlete performs 6 times 50-meter sprints with 30 seconds recover time in between. In my case, I've only tested this test 3 times. What are the advantages of this test? Minimal equipment required, simple to set up and conduct. It can also be conducted indoors or outdoors. Now the next test that we'll be doing is the standing long jump test. The standing long jump is also called the broad jump. It is a common and easy to administer test of explosive leg power. The standing long jump was also once an event at the Olympic Games and is also an event in sports hall competitions in the United Kingdom and part of the power quadrathlon and jumps decathlon assessment to measure the explosive power of the legs. Now, what are the requirements in this test? Tape measured to measure distance jumped, non-slip floor takeoff, soft landing area preferred or outside, commercial long jump landing mats and also available, and you can also use running shoes. The athlete stands behind the line marked on the ground with feet slightly apart. The 2-foot takeoff and landing is used, with swinging of the arms and bending of the knees to provide forward drive. The subject attempts to jump as far as possible, landing on both feet without falling backwards. 3 attempts are allowed, and in my case, I've tested it 3 times. Now, how to measure this? The measurement is taken from takeoff line to the nearest point of contact on the landing, back on the heels. Record the longest distance jump. In the best of 3 attempts, the table below gives a rating scale for the standing long jump test for adults based on personal experiences. Now, what are the advantages of this test? This test is simple and quick and easy to perform, requiring minimal equipment. And the last test that we'll be doing is the sit and reach flexibility test. The sit and reach test is a common measure of flexibility and specifically measures the flexibility of the lower back and hamstrings muscles. This test is important because tightness in the area is implicated in the lumbar lordosis, forward pelvic tilt, and lower back pain. Now, how to do this test? This test involves sitting on the floor with legs stretched out and straight ahead. Shoes should be removed. The soles of the feet are placed flat against the box. Both knees should be locked and pressed flat on the floor, and the tester may assist by holding them down, with the palms facing downwards and the hands on top of each other or side by side. The subject reaches forward along the measuring line as far as possible. Ensure that the hands remain at the same level, not one reaching further forward than the other. After some practice reaches, the subject reaches out and holds that position for at least 2 seconds. While the distance is recorded, make sure there are no jerky movements. Now, how to measure this test? The score is recorded to the nearest centimeter or half inch as the distance reached by the hand. Some test versions use the level of feet as the 0 mark, while others have the 0 mark 9 inches before the feet. Now, what are the advantages of this test? The sit and reach test is a common test of flexibility, and it is an easy and quick test to perform. If using the standard testing procedure, there is a lot of published data to use for comparison, so you can use the online and any data available on the website. So that's all for today, and I hope you learned some simple tests that you can do at the comfort of your home without the need of many equipments. So have a good day. Goodbye.